So, picture this. It's Valentine's Day of all days, and you're at an acupuncture session. But here's the twist. Instead of being told to try and relax, you're actually invited to do, well, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Today, we're going to break down this really fascinating approach that kind of flips our whole idea of wellness on its head. It sounds a little wild, doesn't it? I mean, we are so wired to strive, to set goals, to try and force ourselves to feel calm. But what if there's a better, more powerful way? This whole session really started by exploring this one simple question. Okay, let's get right into the core issue here. Most of us, when we think about wellness, we approach it with a goal. We tell ourselves things like, okay, I have to de-stress right now, or I've got to clear my mind. But here's the paradox, right? The very pressure to achieve that goal, it just creates more stress. It's exactly like someone telling you, whatever you do, don't think of a pink elephant. And what's the first thing that pops into your head? So if that's the problem, what's the alternative? Well, it's a really subtle but honestly a massive shift. It's all about language and intention. Instead of giving your brain yet another command it has to follow, you offer it something way gentler. You offer it permission. This chart just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the left side, that's what we usually do, a command. Relax now. And when that doesn't work, which it usually doesn't, what do you get? Frustration. But now look at the other side. It's not a command at all. It's a gentle invitation, permission to do nothing. See the difference? That simple change just opens the door for real discovery. And this distinction right here, it's everything. Because if you just tell yourself, okay, do nothing, your brain is so good at turning that into another job to get right. You immediately start thinking, okay, am I doing nothing correctly? But when you frame it as permission, all that pressure just vanishes. It's not a task anymore, it's just an option. And this is so important to get. Giving yourself permission to do nothing doesn't mean you're suddenly a blank slate. Of course not. Your body's still breathing, your heart's still beating, and your brain, well, it's still gonna do its brain thing. The idea isn't to stop any of it. It's just to notice it without feeling like you have to jump in and manage it all. And that right there is how you start to get off that hamster wheel of judging yourself. So how do we actually get any better at this? Well, the session used a few metaphors that are just brilliant. They really make this whole abstract idea just click. Let's take a look at the first one. This first one is just so powerful. It's a reminder that our bodies are already total experts at this kind of deep, hands-on learning. I mean, think about it. Nobody hands a baby a physics textbook on how to walk. They learn by feeling it out, by trying, by falling, by adapting. This whole process of doing nothing is really about tapping back into that same natural intelligence that we all have inside us. Okay, and this one is fantastic. We don't try to micromanage our kidneys, right? We just trust them to do their job. This metaphor invites us to start treating our brain's constant chatter in the same way. What if all those thoughts aren't actually a problem that you need to fix? What if it's just an organ, functioning exactly the way it's supposed to? And finally, think about riding a bike. You can't think your way into balancing. You have to feel your way into it. That inner sweet spot, that sense of equilibrium, it's exactly the same. It's not some fixed state that you achieve and then just hold on to for dear life. It's a dynamic skill of adapting moment by moment. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, where does acupuncture fit into all of this? Well, in this session, it was used as a really practical tool to make this kind of observation just a little bit easier to access. So, let's be clear, the needles aren't there to magically force you to relax. A much better way to think of them is like training wheels for your nervous system. They don't do the pedaling for you. They just create a really supportive condition, slowing things down just enough so you can start to observe the wobbly bicycle of your own mind without immediately falling over. And they used two specific points to help out. First, the sympathetic point, which basically helps to turn down the volume on that fight or flight response we all know so well. The other one, the Shen Men point, helps to gently quiet what scientists call the default mode network. You can think of that as the little clock in our head, the part of our brain responsible for all that constant inner monologue and mind wandering that's always running in the background. And all of this, the permission, the metaphors, the training wheels, it all leads to one really central, really powerful takeaway. This isn't about changing who you are. This might just be the most important part of the whole thing. The goal is not to get to some mythical, perfect state of no thoughts. That's impossible. The real goal is to change your relationship with your thoughts.
So even when you notice your brain judging the whole process, asking, is this working? Am I doing it right? That observation is the practice. That's not a sign of failure, it's just more data. You're noticing.
When you boil it all down, this whole approach is about fixing a broken relationship with your own inner world. It's a huge shift from being the frustrated, stressed out manager of your own mind to becoming a curious, non judgmental observer of its incredible natural landscape.
And that kind of leaves us with a final question to take with you. Looking beyond just relaxation, where else in your life could you swap out a demanding instruction for a gentle permission? Maybe in your work, your relationships, your creativity? What could you discover if you just stopped trying so incredibly hard and simply gave yourself permission?